Hello guys and welcome back to episode 17, the final episode of season 2. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting one because since last time we've been on a bit of a roll. So we did obviously beat Leeds last time 2-1, and then since then we've had some pretty emphatic games. We had a 3-2 win against Sheffield United where Vlasic scored, Martial, and then Rutter in the 92nd minute scored a little bit of a tap-in. Then Leicester, we absolutely handled Leicester 5-0. Armada, Martial, Dolberg, Souček and Zuma, 5 different scorers on the score sheet. Then a disappointing, I'd say disappointing draw, because if you look at the stats here, we probably should have beat Southampton. It was a disappointing game overall, just the strikers. Everyone played pretty well, to be honest, but the strikers just obviously didn't do their thing in that game. Then, into the next game, Newcastle, a 3-1 win against them. Martial with a brace. You got a brace, there you go. You got a brace, and then Bissouma nailing the coffin in the 91st minute. Then, Norwich, 2-0. Martial scoring even more goals for us. He's been on absolute fire for us. You can see here, 9 goals in 14 games and 2 assists. He has really been so good for us. Then, moving on to that, we go forward, it's Luton, and we win 2-0. Declan Rice and Vlasic securing a 2-1 win for us after Admiral Musquay scored in the 9th minute, and now that leads us on to Wolves. We've been in absolutely beautiful form. We're on fire. We are on fire at the moment. But in the league, as you can see here, we've managed to secure ourselves Europa League football, which I'm very happy with. Now, Chelsea are on the same amount of points as us. They do play today, I believe it's Watford, who are sitting in 11th. Watford have nothing to fight for, really, apart from probably this 8th spot that they could try and... No, they can't even get up to the 8th. 9th, they can get into 9th. So Chelsea fighting for their lives to stay in this Champions League spot. Us trying to get into that Champions League spot potentially, but with European football in sight. A draw today isn't enough to keep us in 5th. We have to win the game, and then City obviously have to win their game as well. City in pretty poor form, and Chelsea drawing their last 3 games. I think it's Wolves, Leeds and Arsenal all draws. So interesting for them there. In terms of relegation, 3 candidates to be relegated. There is Fulham, Newcastle and Leeds. It's looking more likely that Fulham get relegated, Newcastle just survive, edging it out, and then Leeds will probably stay up if they can manage to get a draw. So, going into today, let's have a look at the fixtures first and foremost. So today, we see quite an interesting game. It's Arsenal, Brentford, then Fulham at Leicester, Leeds, Tottenham, Liverpool, Norwich, Luton, Aston Villa, City, Southampton was the game which we have to keep our eye on. Newcastle, Everton, Sheffield United, Man United, as there's a title race going on here. As you can see, United 5 goals ahead. Currently, they need to win that game against Sheffield United, who is sitting in 19th at the moment. Liverpool, with probably not as difficult as a fixture at home against Norwich, who are sitting 9th in the league. Watford, Chelsea, that's the game we're looking at, because if Watford manage to scrape a draw and we win, it goes in our favour. So I'm hoping, and we're praying at this point, and we carry on the decent bit of form, should I say, into this game where we can then take advantage of a very average Wolves side. So we're going to start with the side that I've been pretty consistent with at the moment, actually. Johnstone, Cresswell, who's been very good, like really good the last 5 games. You can see here the whole defence, the whole team really in the last 5 games have really shone. Declan Rice, perfect central defensive midfielder, half-back, absolutely bossing that role. Bissouma's a ball-winning midfielder. Almada's playing this advanced playmaker role purely because Weston Mckenney was great, but he doesn't get into the box as much, whereas Almada's a bit more of a creative player, gives it Vlasic, transitions through the stage of the defence. Vlasic playing very good in that central attacking midfielder role, scoring a lot of long shots actually, which I wanted to check. He has got 15 long shots, so he's a very good player in that position. Dolberg playing pretty well, holding up the ball, and then Martial's been on absolute fire lately, as you can see, so hopefully we can get something from it. We're going to submit the team. It's going to be an interesting final day of the season, season 2. I'll join you back when we start the game. There we have it. We're walking out. All the players are motivated for this game. Let's see how we can fare against Wolves. It's going to be an exciting last day. Let's get rid of the formations. We'll get the latest scores up, and it's going to be an interesting day out. Ryan Kent sits over the corner. There's a header at the far post, and it goes straight. The first highlight goes to Wolves anyway. It's going to be an interesting one out there. City are winning 1-0 against Southampton, which sees them push us out of that 5th spot. Watford's still drawing with Chelsea. Leeds beating Tottenham, so that sees them avoid the relegation zone, and Arsenal beating Brentford, which sees them finishing a nice comfortable 3rd. Arsenal doing alright so far this season. Almada's picked up a bit of a knock, so at half time I might have to make a few changes, as we've not really been that convincing so far, have we? It's the 45th minute. There's been one highlight, and it has been for Wolves. And at half time, it's not been that great a game, has it? So we're going to the dressing room. We're gonna go to the tactics straight away. First and foremost, Thiago Almada's going to come off. McKennie's going to come on. He's going to play as a box-to-box midfielder, and we're going to actually go a bit more positive at home. Out of possession, do we want to sit any higher up? We don't really want to. I'll go back to the dressing room. We're going to point the finger. I'm not happy with the performance out there. Get going a bit more. We'll start the second half. We'll just see, first and foremost, what everything's saying. So at the moment, Manchester United are beating Sheffield United, so that sees them win the league. Liverpool obviously winning as well against Norwich. Aston Villa beating Luton 5-0, so Luton, well, they've been relegated for ages. Fulham at the moment, where are Fulham? Fulham are playing Leicester, and they are losing, so that sees them drop out of the Premier League, so to speak, and Newcastle are drawing with Everton, so it's 0-0 at the moment. City beating Southampton. We need to try and get anything from our game other than a draw, because that sees us going to 4th at the moment, since Watford are drawing with Chelsea. Let's see what we can do out here. So we're going to encourage the lads as Jose Sa plays it out from the back, and there's a highlight finally in the 50th minute. Otto plays it to Pedro Neto. Raul Jimenez on it. Otto tries to find Pedro Neto again. It lands at his feet. Can he maybe find a ball in? João Moutinho sits over it. Don Decker now claiming it. Stacey on the right hand side. Can we maybe take it off in? Ryan Kent on the ball, playing it round nicely. Ryan Kent can't find anyone. Rice is on it, and it's a poor defensive header as Martial's thrown goal, and Martial scored. Declan Rice with the assist, and Martial has put it in the back of the net. Get in, Anthony Martial. What a signing for us this season. £10 million we've paid for him. It has been a weird goal. Who's this fella? Connor Cody, or the Liverpoolians let down Wolves as Martial goes round the keeper, puts it square into the middle of the net, and we have actually got a 1-goal advantage over them at the moment. Chelsea, though, are winning their game. Have just peaked, so this means that we can still finish in 6th. Now Johnson has a go. Ben Johnson with an absolute bullet sniper shot into the top right hand corner. Beautiful little goal there, and that sees us go 2-0 up. Now all we're hoping for now is for Watford to maybe fight back and get a late equaliser against Chelsea. The other option is obviously City. Well, we're beating City. We're in 5th at the moment, as I've just seen us. I'm going to wait for it, but I want to see whether or not it's confirmed that Watford have actually equalised in the 55th minute. Johnson plays Dolberg through. Can he maybe find a ball into the box now? As Johnson picks the ball back up, back to Dolberg, who plays the ball in. Martial's there, and we've got another one. The 2 forwards, Kasper Dolberg, holding the play up in that deep lying forward role. Martial dropping a bit deeper, tapping it in. Beautiful. It's what you want. It's the perfect game. But we'll pause the game. Watford are drawing with Chelsea. This is big. This is really, really big. So at the moment, we're now sitting in 4th. City are winning their game 2-0. Chelsea drawing with Watford in the 58th minute. We can't see the Chelsea score, and it's really, really annoying me that. I want to see where they're at. Pedro Neto, Rice intercepts in that half-back role. Beautiful. Ait Nouri is back on it. Plays the ball down the line to Adamame Traore, who finds Guri. Decent little header there. We're going to make a few subs. So, still, we're sitting pretty comfortably. Let me see if we can swap it round. So as we can see here now, Watford are beating Chelsea. Ismaila Sarr has scored in the 63rd minute. Dennis, the penalty, 56th minute. This is the moment where we've just got to sit tight. Chelsea have to score 2 goals to go back above us. A draw doesn't do anything for Chelsea at this point. It just puts them on 70 points above City. They have to score 2 within 15 minutes, I believe. So we're going to hold on tight. We're going to see whether or not we can hold on to that, as it's going to be a tight one in the run-in. 82nd minute now, 83rd minute. We're doing all right. Let's take off. We can't take off any more players. I've made all my substitutes. It's going to be a tricky one, as now in the 88th minute. Let's have a look. We'll check back in with the latest scores, as if we scroll down, James has equalised in the 94th minute for Chelsea. Let's continue through. We're going to have to just wait until the end of our game as we've got another highlight here which makes it so tense. Kufal on the ball, pulls it back to Weston Mckenney, who plays it back to Kufal with a beautiful little bit of football. I'm loving this 4-1-2-1-2 formation, this narrow diamond formation as Stacey punts it clear, falls to Rice, Kufal back on it, Vlasic goes out wide, can he maybe find a cross in? Perhaps. Kufal on it, Martial gives it to Vlasic, can he play it backwards? He finds Rice, it's the last moments of the game. Declan Rice closes out the season with an absolute thunder goal. What a goal that was. Curls it into the top right hand corner. Beautiful, beautiful goal, and I'm so happy. City hanging on by the skin of their teeth, 3-2 as you just saw it in the bottom left-hand corner there. Oh, it's a beautiful goal by Rice, by the way. He right into the side netting. That's why PSG want him. But we are slowly anticipating whether or not Chelsea have managed to perhaps score in the last minute. So we're going to do the lap of the pitch. Whether or not that sees us go into the Champions League, that's as comprehensive as it gets. Let's advance through. We're going to look at the league table. And we've done it. Somehow, and I don't know how, we have managed to pull back and finish fourth with a 19 goal difference. 72 points. We finished way off first, way off. United winning the league on the final day of the season, Ronaldo getting 2 goals. But wow, Chelsea drawing with Watford. I know they've had quite a harsh run of games towards the end there. But Reece James doing all he can in the 94th minute to equalise, but we have finished in 4th. There we go, end of season review 2022-23. The new arrivals. So who came in from last year? So we had Martial come in, who had in fact, we'll do it by average rating. Martial had a fantastic year for us. 16 apps, came in January. The board are pleased with Martial, mainly due to the transfer fee we paid for him. They feel it's a good deal. It's been a very good deal. 13 goals in 16 games, 2 appearances, nearly a goal contribution per game, bar one. He's been phenomenal, 7.53 rating. Then we brought in Weston Mckenney for 17 million. Really good value on him. If you look at how much he's worth 33 million already. He's just a solid player in that midfield. 10 appearances he made, 3 assists, 7.11 rating. Really, really good for us. Then we brought in Basuma for 33 million, which makes the value of Mckenney look a bit weird, but as you can see, Basuma much better at tackling, great physically, great mentally, just sort of peaks him technically, Weston Mckenney. But yeah, 17 appearances for Basuma, 5 assists, 1 goal for us, near enough a 7 rating. And Dylan Levitt, 3 goals for us. Not been a bad player, came in on 3. Then Dolberg, 12 goals for us, 17.5 million we paid for him at the start of the season. Breland Bolo then, he's been an underrated type of player for us, only valued at around about 10 million, but he's played pretty well for us. I can't even lie, he's played very well for us. 18 goal appearances off the bench, should I say, starting 11 of them. 5 goals, 2 assists, decent enough. Then Igor Diviv. Now, Diviv, I don't really know if he's going to stay at the club. 23 years of age. He's come in, he's done a decent job, but on £58,000 a week, he's not an important player, and I don't think he's good enough to be an important player. It's just the marking, the heading and the tackling doesn't really cut it for me. Then Todd Campbell came in on a free. He's just served as a nice backup for us to then make it a bit tidy profit this year. Going into it, so the board expectation was top half, final position. We've finished in the Champions League spots. The 60,000 average home attendance capacity. The old, is it the old Wembley Stadium? I can't remember what it was. It's the Olympic Stadium, isn't it? The Olympic Stadium is now going to be a Champions League host, and I can't be happy about it. The form itself, so we started the season quite strong. We had a 2-0 win against Liverpool and a nice win against City, and then the loss against Manchester United really stunted our form. We then beat Arsenal, went on a really good run, 2, 4, 6, 7 games on the trot that we won, really nice and tidy, much like that's probably the end of the season that we had. Then Wolves, a draw, and that really saw us topple our form. Liverpool, City we lost to, Fulham we managed to scrape a win, then United we lost to, Chelsea we won, Arsenal we lost. Tottenham we won. Then in the back end of the season, we've really pulled through here. Ever since that Tottenham game, we've won every game bar 3 where we've drawn, all 3 of which have been 0-0 draws, so we probably could have pipped a few points there regardless. But I'm very happy to have really done it. It's been a really really good season. Match to remember, this one against Leicester in the Premier League. Biggest win, 5-0 against Leicester. That was a huge win for us. And the goal of the season was obviously the Rice top quality strike as he curled it into the top corner for the last goal of the season. It could be his last goal for the club. Sponsorship wise, down a bit from last season, which is a bit of an issue, but broadcast revenue, we've gone up. Corporate and hospitality has gone down. Competition prize money has gone up since we finished, obviously, in the Champions League spots. Matchday commercial and retail, yeah, it's just gone down a tiny bit, but the shirt sold, as you can see, Martial number 7. He has really sold a lot of shirts. Same with Mckenney, same with the Bissouma signing, and Rice as well, selling quite a lot of shirts. How we lined up this season, it's probably going to prefer this 4-2-3-1 purely because it's probably what I use mostly throughout the season. I did change to that 4-1-2-1-2 narrow where I got quite consistent with it towards the end, but yeah. Sam Johnstone in the net. Cresswell, Diop, Zuma, and Johnson, and in the midfield, Bissouma and Souček as a pivot. Rice not on there. Interesting, very very interesting. Vlasic, Bowen, Almada, then Martial up front. Martial just because of his average rating. I think it's just picked him purely because of how well he's played. But that draws to an end a very very good season. Now this gives me the opportunity to sort of go into the transfer market, really try and develop younger players, bring them through. It's going to be fantastic for us to going forward. I'm really enjoying this save now, I've got to admit. I'm really getting into it. So I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, as ever, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I'm very happy. This has been a fantastic... If you're going to like any episode, this will be the one to like, because the drama on the deadline day there, on the final day of the season, really good. Fantastic video, really happy with that one. That is hair-raising stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching as ever, and I shall catch you in the next episode, which will be the start of season 3. Thanks for watching as ever. As I say, hope you're all doing well, and I shall catch you in the next episode. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.